Mr. Good.
Tell me when you're ready to start. Oh, I'm sorry. Sit
Norton
there.
right there. He's right there.
Oh, he walked out. Never mind. You said you wanted to do the prayer. So.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to do the prayer? That's fine. All right, I'm gonna call the administrative meeting to order. We'll all stand, and Mr. Norton's gonna lead us in prayer. Okay. I'll lead us in the pledge.
Bow your heads, please. Father God, we just thank you so much for this day. We thank you for this beautiful weather. Thank you for each one of these jurors who come before us, Father God. They represent us. We just pray that you give them wisdom, give them strength to deal with the issues that we deal with at this parish. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Follow me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, do we have a president's report, Mr. Arnell?
No, sir, not this time.
Legal counsel report, Mr. Adams?
The legal counsel's report will be included in the discussions during the rest of the agenda items. We do have matters for voting to abstain and a new process on that. And that's the reason we're having a special meeting later on the same day. So
Okay.
I can explain that, and I think the president has already explained it, I believe.
All right, any call?
Mr. Holmes,
Yes, ma'am.
before you start.
Yes, sir.
I was asked by one of our guests that if all the jurors could speak in the mics because a lot of times they
yeah.
can't hear.
Okay.
And they're sitting in the back and they won't be able to hear us. So if you would, please, everybody speak in the mic.
All right, do we have any call for additions or deletions to the agenda? All right, if not, we'll go on. Any guest or public comments? All right, moving right along. Administrative items. Item number 1, authorize the treasurer to sign the engagement agreement with Cap Risk for actuarial valuations fiscal year 2025 all the way through 2029. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Ross, second. Anybody? Second.
Excuse me, I don't have my
Click.
clicker.
Yeah, it's most of the name.
No, well, this one was sitting over here, so I took it was mine. All right, any discussion on item number 1? Guess we'll wait a few minutes on,
You want to get him a clicker?
I think she did.
Okay.
Say it. Okay.
Those one working on your TV at home, Rodney.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, we're still on item number 1, Jody, and ready for a vote. No discussion. All right, motion passed. Item number 2, authorize the president to sign a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Sheriff's Department for the construction of a communications tower in the Lula Hunter community and amend the general fund budget by $36,000.
Move.
I have a motion.
Second.
And a second. I'd like to make an alternate motion to that, please, if you would. I'd like to make an alternate motion to authorize the president to sign a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Sheriff's Department for the construction of a communications tower in the Lula Hunter community and pay for it by using proceeds from the sale of the land off the Constitution Drive.
Second. Sorry.
Any discussion on that?
Yes, sir. Shouldn't we pass the use of the land, the sale of the land on Constitution Drive first? I mean, that's kind of putting the cart before the horse.
Should we
to
say, if the property sells?
me. Yeah. That's
Add
be-
that to it,
That's
Jody?
better. Huh?
Mr. Reb, we will put your mic to you. We want to hear that
Okay.
voice.
Yeah, I think that's better if the property, because we ain't passed that yet, so we need to, do it different. I mean, add something to it.
You got it written down? All right. Any more discussion on that? All right, vote on that if you will.
I just want to say, I researched this, and this supposed to help our radios and stuff, really help put us up into the new millennium with our radios and stuff. I've been waiting on this, and they need it down now in their community.
All right, that, motion passed. Item number 3. Appoint Ron Jackson, replacing Dennis Reed, to the Ambulance EMS District Board, serving the remaining term.
So move.
So,
All right, have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Did not vote. All right, motion passed. Item number 4, authorize selling the property labeled Lot Number 6 at the end of the Constitution Drive to the sheriff at market value, to the sheriff's department, I should say, at market value. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second? Any discussion on that?
yes, sir. What's market value?
Well, we're currently, when the request came last week, we submitted for, obtain an appraisal. We should have that by the regular meeting. I don't know what the per acre market value is at this point.
So we vote to sell property, we don't know what we setting it for?
You're voting to advance it out of committee, but we should have the market value at the next meeting. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I mean, I just got a few concerns about this property, because this industrial park, and I'd like to see some of this property get sold to some people that's gonna bring some revenue to the parish. It's gonna have some tax value on it, because we selling this property out, and it ain't bringing nothing back to the parish.
As I was just informed by my parish engineer, we received the appraisal back earlier today. They did not let me know before the meeting. So the appraised value is $107,000.
For how many acres?
9.6267,
7-2,
17.
9 3/4.
Little over 9.5 acres.
That's a little over $10,000 acre.
Right.
Cause y'all know I still got questions about that $10,000 acre. I just want to make sure we have some property sale to some people that's gonna bring some value, some tax revenue, at this industrial park, cause we getting rid of a lot of property, and it's not gonna bring us anything. What he gonna do with this property?
I believe he's going to be constructing a youth shooting range for the kids in the parish
For the
that participate in shooting sports and
4-H shooting
4-H
sports, and I think there's one other, excuse me, I think there's one other, group of kids that shoot, I don't know what they call the name of it.
Okay.
DeSoto Shooting Sports or
That
something.
was another thing that I was gonna ask you, is it for all the children in the parish, or just a certain group of children?
As far as I know, it's for all the kids.
I mean,
But
any kid-
that's a question you need to ask the sheriff's department. We don't have the details on that. He just made the request and indicated what he was purchasing it for.
Yeah, we need to know all that. I would like to know it before I take a vote.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes, Mr. Fuller?
can you, next time, like I say, I know you didn't this time, but if a request come, can you find out, so, because you know the jury gonna ask about it. So that way, you know, you can inform us what's going on, if you don't mind.
Sure. I'll have an answer for you by the next meeting.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Everyone vote.
But I'm gonna vote no till I get the information. I'm needing.
I think two of them starting, probably don't be up high.
Have one out.
Mr. Joey.
I voted. In the bush.
There you go.
All right, motion passed. Item number 5, authorize the engineering department in conjunction with the planning commission to contract with Villavasso and Associates to complete the final draft for the DeSoto Parish subdivision regulations and to develop a master plan for DeSoto Parish.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, Ms.
get
Burrell.
with it.
I think most are aware that we've been working on a revision to the subdivision regulations. This will allow us to get over the threshold and actually complete that. We have a rough draft that the planning commission's been working on over the last couple of years. We're gonna turn this over to Mr. Villavasso. He's gonna be able to add the legal expertise, the definitions, the organization, and so forth, to make sure it corresponds with our other ordinances and other documents that we have within the parish. So he's gonna help us push that final document through. Should be done within, I think he gives a 2 to 3 month time frame. Hopefully we'll be reviewing those subdivision regulations. The second part, the master plan, that's in compliance with the state law. That the planning commission shall have a master plan, and that's gonna assist them when we receive some new development or anything in the parish. We need to have a plan to compare to, see a plan that the jury's put in place to see, to make sure we're in compliance with that plan. That's what it's gonna give us. And some of the aspects of that master plan, it's gonna outline what DeSoto Parish is today, you know, future land use, transportation, infrastructure, economic development. That's what's listed in that document you have there. We will have an updated proposal for you the next meeting. Really, the only thing that's changed is he spelled out subdivision regulation a little bit more detailed in the proposal that you have in your packet now. It really don't address subdivision regulations. We made sure that he put that in the proposal front and center, and that you'll have that in your packet at the next meeting. But
Okay. Oh, I just wanted, I'll be asking these questions because I can't get, when this package sent out to me, it don't allow me to download what this talk, so I can't read it. So I got to ask the questions when I'm here, because when they stop sending us our packages, I can't read that over the phone. That's a lot of paperwork to read from a telephone. I want to look at mine so I can get full detail of what you're saying.
All right, any more discussion on that? Vote. Motion passed. Item number 6, the DeSoto Parish Planning Commission recommends the following amendment to the DeSoto Parish subdivision regulations. Amendment to delete Part 1, Paragraph 5, Part C, and substitute the following. Partition of land when all the resulting lots are 1 acre or larger in the area, no street or road construction or right-of-way is involved, and all lots have frontage on an existing parish or state-maintained roadway.
So move.
We're making changes to the regulations
Yeah,
before
I'm
they,
like, yeah, I know.
I mean,
If y'all recall the moratoriums that we had in the past, I don't think it's proper.
Excuse me, you gotta get a second
Oh, I'm
before you
sorry.
can
Go ahead,
discuss
go
it.
ahead.
Second for discussion.
Second.
second by Mr. Ross. Go ahead.
The moratoriums that we discussed in the past meetings, this is just setting it as an amendment. I don't think it's, from what I understand, moratorium should be short-lived and short-term, and we've taken longer on our subdivision regulations than we anticipated. We hoped to have the new regulations before we needed to do this, but we're just gonna rectify those moratoriums in an actual amendment. What this first one is changing is, it's just adding that language at the end for the, frontage on a public parish maintained or state maintained roadway. That was a portion that was not in the original language, and that allowed people to build on deer camp roads or a subdivision on an oil field road and so forth like that. So we're limiting that to parish or state maintained roads.
That might be a good idea.
All right, any more discussion on that? If not, we'll vote on it.
Mike, can I get that paperwork on it so I can read it? I mean, not tomorrow,
Yes, ma'am.
for the next meeting.
Yes, ma'am. We can get that for you.
All right, thank you.
All right, motion passed. Item number 7, the DeSoto Parish Planning Commission recommends the following amendment to the DeSoto Parish subdivision regulation. Amendment to delete Part 3, Section D3. Remove the part that says it is written on the plat that clear title is not available on any lot until all improvements and installations have been made. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
Clarification needed, or?
You can, go ahead.
Yep.
This is simply, under final approval, it says that you may sell lots provided one of the following conditions are met. And it lists, all required improvements have been constructed, and number 1. Number 2, police jury has accepted 100% performance bond. And this is number 3. It is written on the plat that clear title is not available on any lot until the improvements have been installed. And that, we're removing that clause, because to date, everybody's used that clause and began selling lots before they've completed construction without a bond. So by removing that clause, are forcing either the construction to be completed or the bond to be received, but can't sell lots until one of those two are received.
All right. Any more discussion on it? Not, we'll vote. Motion passed. Item number 8, discuss and take action on occupancy tax collections in the parish. I make a motion.
Second.
Miss-
I put that on the agenda. I was informed that, of course, we discussed this, I think, the latter part of last year, that the occupancy taxes with the RV parks had not been collected. They weren't collecting them and turning them in. And I understand that that is still the way. They're still not collecting, and they're still not turning them into the parish. I think everyone was sent a copy of the letters that had been sent out by the sales tax, Mr. Robinette. And he had requested that they would start paying them, and as of yet, he has not. He sent out a letter end of January, and again in March. And I feel like we need to find out what action needs to be taken, that we can get those taxes collected and distributed back to the DeSoto Parish tourism. So
Are you talking about back taxes or taxes moving forward?
No,
I think back taxes
Back
also.
Taxes too.
I mean, they were informed back in January.
How
You
how
can
long
pay
have
back.
how long have they not been collecting?
Well, they haven't been collected for several years by some of of course, that wasn't all their fault. I think the police jury back about 6 years or 8 years ago voted to rescind or make it where they were not.
Oh, it went back to like 2007 or 2008 when they first
Okay.
did that. Now, I talked to the tax administrator about this, and the action he took was he sends out those notifications, and then if these companies don't start remitting or remit the back taxes, he legislatively, he has authority to go and pursue this. This is one of the reasons why y'all decided to turn that over to him. So he can take action, using legal action, using his attorney to collect these from those individual businesses. And that includes if they don't provide the necessary paperwork, if you will, their taxes, that shows what they owed, he can make estimated assessments against those businesses. So that's kind of a long process. You have to follow statutes to protect people, and from what I understand, is doing that. So that's after discussion I had with him last week.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Jones.
The last time I was president, I had to address this issue with some of the tax collectors. And they had to go out, they had stopped, collecting taxes. And I visited the sales and use tax collectors and told them, we need to collect those taxes. Some of them felt like, who have the rental trailers, felt like they wasn't, should be with that. Shouldn't be included in that, but, show them to the point where they are.
Yes.
And like I said, several years ago, there was an issue.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, that's not something we passed.
Right.
The legislature
Legislature
passed
passed
that,
it.
and they're doing it all over the state, as far as I know.
Right.
So we need to,
I got a heads up from our lady in the back there, who does our the visitors, and she had come to me at one point saying that they're not collecting the taxes.
yes, okay.
And they need be.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not fair to the other taxpayers. I mean, you get a special event, they send you to the tax man to pay for estimated people. And these people can have these lots full of trailers and not pay taxes. That ain't fair to our rest of our taxpayers.
Is there any action?
Yes,
we need
Mr.
to
Chair.
Is here, Robinette.
Oh, Mr. Robinette, you want to come up and explain what you are doing then? And maybe tell us how long an ordeal this is, or what have you done so far?
Well, the letter we actually sent in January was after we'd received the list.
Chief, can you state your name for the record?
What's that?
Can you state your name for the
Oh,
record?
Chris Robinette. I'm with the DeSoto Parish Sales Tax Commission. That initial letter in January, like I said, we'd sent that out after we'd got a list, and we verified it with our tax roll for sales tax. found the ones that were not registered with our office. So those, there were 6 of them. So we sent that letter out. And about, within a week, I got to work one day and there was 6 of them in my office. So what I told them was, since this was something new to us, because I don't know if there's some new police jury members or not, but the Sales Tax Commission was formed back in 1991 by joint agreement between the school board and the police jury and the city of Mansfield to collect sales and use tax for all the taxing authorities in DeSoto Parish. So that's mainly what we had been working and collecting on. So when our first taste of occupancy tax was actually back in about 2011. The city of Mansfield passed an occupancy tax and asked the commission to collect it for them. So we did sign the agreement, and we've been collecting it since 2011, but mostly Mansfield is hotels. That's pretty simple. There's three, the occupancy tax applies to those. When we got with the Tourist Bureau, of course, that's parish-wide, and all of a sudden, we had bed and breakfast and RV parks, and as far as occupancy tax, we weren't that familiar. So after, what I told them at that meeting was, give me a little time to get with our attorney. Let us research the law, let our attorney research, give us her opinion and recommendation on which taxes apply to which business, sales tax and occupancy tax. So we received her letter back, pretty much said yes, RV parks, they should pay the 3% occupancy tax. And unless there's some cottages or cabins on their property, there's no sales tax.
Okay.
So once I had that, and I had a foot to stand on, you might say, I issued that letter in March. I issued 6 letters. We got a response to one of them. One of them did register with our office, and they did remit the occupancy tax in April. When I sent the letter in March, of course, that gave them time to register and remit for the month of April. Well, just last week, we closed the month of April, so we were able to look at the list that we sent along with the collections. And there were, 5 that didn't respond at all. So now we're moving on to our next step. We're going to use the same procedures to collect occupancy tax that we do for the sales tax. We have certain steps where we go, from the next step will be an intent to assess, then assess, and you have liens and you have suits. But commission has always tried to work with the taxpayer. I mean, we work with them, we try to help them be in compliance with the law, pretty much. And then we'll work with them as far as, if they request in writing, we can help them with a penalty sometimes. But Mike was right. Since they're not registered, all we can do is look at some that are registered, come up with an estimate of what they're reporting, and use that estimate to assess the ones that haven't registered. And that'll be our starting point. And matter of fact, we're doing that right now.
Okay.
We've already turned it over to our, we only have 5 people in an office, but we have one that's specifically assigned for the occupancy tax, and they've been turned over to her to begin the assessment process.
Okay, very good.
How would you calculate back taxes?
We'd probably go back to January, and we use the same estimated amount for each month. Of course, the penalties, it's 5% for each 30 days. So, April, if they don't remit April by May, they have till May 20th to report it. So there wouldn't be any penalty or interest on April, but March would be 5% penalty, February would be 10.
Well,
you go back to a maximum, 25%'s the maximum you can do.
Did the tax, I'm kind of confused here, so did the taxpayer not pay their taxes on purpose, or did the parish say, you don't have to pay these taxes? What happened there? Why didn't they get paid?
I couldn't answer that question.
Because if this was a sin of the police jury of saying, hey, we shouldn't make these people pay these taxes, I don't think we should make them pay penalties.
Well, here's the thing, related to those taxes. The jury passed in 2006, 2007, somewhere at that time. They passed an ordinance saying RV parks no longer have to collect our occupancy tax, okay? You have to understand an occupancy tax that's levied and voted on by the people. If you remove it, it has to be removed by the people. So the police jury realized an error that they'd done that, and they reversed themselves last year. So the taxes that were due, and those people were notified that they are required by law to start collecting that tax. So they're not going back prior to the change that the jury made. They're only going back, I believe, to January, and requiring them to start collecting it. And they were notified in January.
They were notified.
So
So the back
it's not a
taxes-
sin of the jury.
So the back taxes we're talking about is from 3 months ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not talking 20 years. We're not
All right.
talking 10 years, you know? Yeah. So I think y'all wisely decided to change the course on that. So, yes, ma'am.
Mr. North, you on the Sabine River Authority board, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Cause he just said if they don't have cabins there,
Well, Sabine River Authority is one of the agencies that currently collects it and remits it to the tax
okay,
office.
so do DeSoto Parish, that one they got in DeSoto Parish, do we collect taxes on that one?
Sabine River Authority does, yes, ma'am, and they
Okay.
report that to the tax office.
Cause I stay down there, I know I be paying
Oh,
some
yeah?
good taxes.
They are registered and they do report.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, after you said that, I said, well, they ain't got cabins, but it's a bunch of them down there that do, like Sam McGill's and all them, they got cabins. But I know we be paying some good nifty taxes when we camp out down there, so.
I think the only ones that the SRA has in DeSoto Parish are at Circle Drive.
Yep, that's
Right.
Circle Drive.
And then all the other ones are SRA remits that to Sabine Tax Authority. Yes, ma'am.
Where they got Logansport now, but it ain't nobody standing, but they in Logansport now.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other question?
No, I don't have any other questions. You want to say something about that?
Well, Mr. Robinette, I understood you to say that they met with you around in January, after the January letter, and you said, y'all gonna have to give me a little bit of time and figure this out, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right, because
Yeah.
like I said, we weren't familiar with the bed and breakfast or the RV parks, and I wanted to be certain before I started.
And so then your March letter then said, here's what it is, right?
We got we researched, and then we got a letter from Jennifer in March. I think
Okay.
March the 10th.
Okay. So I think the question for the jury would need to be, how far back do you go? I think I'm following,
Yeah, I don't
Mr.
think there should
Latham's-
be penalties.
I mean, you may go back to March, but, I don't know if you can
January.
get back. If we were asking them to hold on until we got our research done,
Right.
it does seem disingenuous to be.
I'm all about getting the back taxes, but I don't know if we should penalize them for us being slow.
And that's the beauty of the commission. It's made up of different agencies, and he can make that determination and make a recommendation to the commission. Because it's not just the police jury's taxes. You have the,
Right.
the school board's taxes
Exactly.
and other things, but,
But I think Mr. Robinette would benefit from y'all's guidance on that issue. Isn't that fair to say?
I would think so, yes.
It's been
like-
our
like
practice
say
to
if-
work
if-
with the taxpayers,
I-
and we
I
normally
think-
do waive. We
They
just like a
knew-
letter in writing to stick in the file, so when the
Yeah.
auditors audit us. and
Right.
all that,
They knew it though. They knew they was trying to get around, some of them was, cause I I've been researching myself. Someone was actually trying to get around paying those taxes. They knew. And like I said, we have to go and pay taxes on something estimated. I know.
The
We
thing
talk
about
about-
it is one RV park did register. One RV park did begin sending their taxes in. So it was a known fact that they needed to do it. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
that
knew
one
they
RV
needed
park
to
knew
do
it. They went ahead and registered. They started paying their taxes. So all of them should have at that same time.
Yep. Exactly.
So that's as far as I would say we could go back. Go back as far as when the first one started paying theirs, and the rest of them, they need to pay from that point forward also.
And
Because, like I say, one registered, one started paying their taxes, the rest of them didn't.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
It's always been an issue though, that's.
Well, I guess the action's being taken by Mr. Roberts' office. He's already taken action, so. Huh? I guess so, yeah, no action on our part. Wait for Mr. Robinette to report back to us, I guess,
Yeah.
his results.
And I can tell you, I attend the commission meetings with our commission members, and he gives a good report on that stuff. And
Yeah.
I can let you know something when we have something, I'll let you know.
All right. All right, item number 9, adopt the 2025-2026 operating budget for the DeSoto Parish Sales and Use Tax Commission.
So move.
Have a motion by Mr. Mr. Fuller,
Second.
and a second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion on that? That's Mr. Robinette again, isn't it?
I ain't gonna bore you.
No
this
discussion?
time.
All right, that motion passed. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Did we vote on that, Jody? I'm sorry.
She went to personnel.
Nah, we did.
Vote on the budget.
Yes.
I thought so.
Yeah, we did.
You didn't vote on the budget?
Okay, very good. I thought we did. but I wasn't sure. Huh? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mr. Adams didn't think we voted.
I was reading the
thought so.
budget.
I
I'm
didn't
sorry.
need
My-
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
scratched it off.
Made it that way.
I thought we.
all right. Thank you.
Well, she went personnel. She went personnel.
Yeah, airport is first. Airport and animal control is before.
Well, I'm looking at personnel,
Personnel.
road committee,
Yeah.
right,
In your
okay.
binder.
Insurance, there we go. All right, Airport and Animal Control Committee called to order.
Hold on. I thought we were doing personnel.
I did too, huh?
It's up.
Huh?
Well,
You what?
No, she thought.
Yeah, sorry about that. The times were wrong at this top. I apologize.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let me get my. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Airport and Animal Control Committee called to order. Call for any additions and deletions. Guest and public comments. Ms. Barbie out there? I don't see her. Ms. Barbie, okay. Airport and Animal Control items. Number 1, authorize the president to sign a corporate endeavor agreement with the DeSoto Parish Sheriff for the construction of additional kennels at the animal shelter. Can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Ms. Barbie, can you come up for just a moment? Enlighten us a little bit on
Please
this.
do.
This CEA. How are you?
Well, if you don't know me, I'm Barbie Higginbotham. I'm with Animal Control, Director at the shelter. The sheriff has come to me and asked if he would propose some help for our community. We are growing, and the animal control is not descending by any means. I'm constantly battling it every day. So we are trying to develop different ways to help the means of the community, offering different things. But Sheriff came to me asking, because we do not offer any after-hour calls anymore within our budget. And so sometimes the deputies get a call and they're able to bring that dog into the shelter. This is giving a way of having a space for him to access that, but also having a safe space for an animal to come if I need to hold it, or for the security of the deputies as well.
So the funds, so this corporate endeavor with them, this is strictly with them?
With the sheriff building it itself? Yes, ma'am, as far as I know. I have not seen.
Yeah,
any-
I mean, I knew the answer to
Okay.
that question, but I want to make sure
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
the answer, that is
I sure
answered.
wanna know.
Yes, ma'am. No, he offered to build it to support, with us supporting, and the deputies doing the same, so.
I do have a question. How long do y'all keep strays?
It depends on the situation with them. We move them out as quick as we can. We have moved out over 1,000. We took in 1,056 last year, and we took 870 to rescue, and ended up
Wow.
having to euthanize over 200 and something animals last year.
How long before you euthanize them?
Just depends. Personality-wise, if I can hold them and get them out, that's what I do. Our 501c3 actually pays for us to transport them and get their vetting out, and tries to help support our budget that way. I work on getting grants and different things to help kind of supplement that in the aspect also.
What's the longest
Good job.
you hold a dog?
Most cases, it's not over a couple months. It just depends on transport. Transport's our
Okay.
biggest thing.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you this.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we gonna have to pay these deputies that come out?
No,
They
that's
not
on the
ask-
deputies. No,
I'm
ma'am.
just trying to make sure what's in
I
this
understand.
corporate endeavor agreement.
No, it is, the sheriff's footing the entire bill for the construction
entire bill.
project. He's asking for 5 dedicated kennels that he can have his deputies use after hours. Out of the 10, they're gonna be constructed, so.
Okay. Now, I'm just worried about after hours.
Yeah, that's gonna be all, the sheriff's gonna carry the entire load of that.
Cause she already struggling.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't need to add nothing else to her budget.
10
Any other
extra
questions?
kennels, 10 extra kennels, is that going to require any additional employees?
It shouldn't. We were trying to work on different avenues, building our volunteer status up. I'm working with the Best Friend Corporation as far as we use a lot of our community service. The judge sends me a lot of them, and I use
Okay.
them that way. We use different aspects of, our community and different groups, but it shouldn't add any more with just 10, no.
And the volunteers have increased as well.
Yes,
'cause
ma'am,
I've
they're
signed-
steadily increasing.
Yeah, I've signed quite a
We're just trying to
few.
work up different programs to try to figure out how to make them realize we're still here and still fighting for this, so,
And I thank you for that fight.
yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Okay. With that, please vote. Motion passes. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second? Second. Adjourn.
Next.
Ready. Insurance Committee call to order. Any calls for additions or deletions? We need to defer a motion. I'm gonna make one. We'll defer a motion, item number 2, to the June committee meeting, so we can delete that one. Can you make a roll call vote on that? Mr. Raines?
Aye.
Mr. Fuller?
Second.
Aye. Aye. Jim?
Yes, aye.
Bubba? Aye. Item deleted. All right. Any guests or public comments? Yeah, Joe Hernandez will come up, but we're going to, on item one, we're gonna discuss the 2025 to 2026 health insurance expected claims and increase for employer premiums. If Joe will come up and kind of give us a rundown on what's going on.
Good evening. As Robbie said, I'm Joe Hernandez with HPL Benefits. We're the insurance agent for the jury's employee benefit plan. So what you have proposed from Lilly in your packet are the employer contribution and payroll deduction schedule that they're recommending for the 25-26 plan year that starts July 1st. That is based on the expected claims cost for the renewal plan year. So expected claims is 2.1 million. Fixed cost is 730,000 roughly. And so that's in total expected plan cost of 2.8 million. What we did was we went back and looked at the January 2024 United Healthcare rates that we had. Using those rates at your current enrollment, it collects right at $2.8 million. So what we proposed is using the 24 United Healthcare rates with an 80-20 split, which is what y'all have passed, to collect, and that be your rates going forward.
So simply put, based on the claims that we collected over the year, we claimed more than what we thought. So next year, our premiums have been raised, so a single employee, they will see a $10 adjustment to their paycheck, and if a employee has a family plan, they'll see a $40 a month increase on their paycheck of withdrawals from their health insurance. Just so if anybody comes up asking why'd my health insurance go up, it's because we had higher claims than projected.
The claims were projected for this last year. We're projected at 2.3 million. It looks like it's going to finish the plan year at about 2.6 million. So then the projection for the next year is 2.8 million. And that's the number that we're using.
So what you suggesting, go back to United Healthcare?
No.
Oh, I was finna say.
Just using their figures as a budget.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, employees will just see a small increase in their health insurance on their paycheck.
And there's no change to, as I mentioned in the previous meeting, staying with Blue Cross, no change to the benefits, benefit structure, deductibles, co-pays, everything stays the same.
All right, any other questions?
Yeah, well, Robbie, I think the library board may be looking at joining the insurance that we're on. How much difference would that make if the library system came onto our plan?
We carry the library currently.
You already carry them? Okay, all right. Thought they were saying that when we voted, we were talking in a board meeting to come to it, so.
Yeah, they pay their own share.
They do, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they participate as an outlying entity, but they pay their own way.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Motion to adjourn?
Thank you.
Okay, road department.
Thank you.
Personnel?
Personnel.
Personnel? Yeah, I'm off today.
You ready? She ready?
Oh, yeah.
Ready, Joe? Okay. Personnel meeting called to order. Call for additions and deletions to the agenda. Do we have any guests and public comments? Personnel items, convert the 2 laborer positions to 1 mechanic at the landfill. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Oh, second.
Any question?
Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that?
We currently have a lot of work on heavy equipment out there, and we can't, the current mechanic we have cannot keep up. So we wanted to convert those 2 labor positions that we're not using to a mechanic 2. Mechanic 2. We need a heavy equipment mechanic, a diesel mechanic, and that's a mechanic 2. So that's the request that we're making.
There's too much one guy between the roll-off trucks
I know you're a good diesel.
I don't think we have the laborers filled. There's no one currently as a laborer out there right now.
No, we have 2 approved positions, yes, sir. We have not hired anybody.
Do we contract diesel mechanics out?
You can, but it's extremely expensive. And you're subject to their timeline when they're available, and that's one of the biggest issues we have. We constantly can't keep up. Some of the pump risers go down. We're waiting on them to come out and make those repairs. So we don't have anybody. I mean, this is going to be a position posted. Once y'all authorize it, we're going to post this to hopefully find someone to hire them. We don't have anybody in mind.
But what are we doing now?
We're always behind.
We're just behind?
We're way behind, yeah. So,
And the plus, they getting labor from the sheriff department with the inmates.
Right.
So, I mean, I can't see why, cause they are behind, I know that for a fact. So, I'ma suggest that we do this because we need to catch up, cause they got so much stuff out there breaking down.
Do we contract now? Do we contract labor now for diesel mechanics if we need them?
Caterpillar comes and works, yes, whenever our mechanics can't fix it.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And that
So you
gets,
use Caterpillar, you don't use like local diesel mechanics?
No, Caterpillar's the only one that has the software to work on, and they're not gonna give it out.
You might need to change from Caterpillar.
They're gonna give it to us. I say they're gonna give it to us, so our mechanic can work on it? If we just limit to what he can do. So we're
There's-
still gonna end up having to use Caterpillar.
there,
What's the benefit of hiring a mechanic if he can't do the work?
the service work and everything that's required, there's some stuff on Caterpillar, and it's not just Caterpillar that we have out there. We have other Freightliners and other things like that. Some of the Caterpillar equipment is under lease, okay? We have to use those contractors for that. But a lot of the service work on all the roll-off trucks and the equipment we own, a lot of it a mechanic can do, a diesel mechanic can handle. The software, you would still have to, if there's anything associated with software on those, you'd still have to go to Caterpillar for that. So this is not for the software. This is for just keeping up with basic maintenance on those.
Hydraulics, oil, that
Right,
type of thing?
Right.
What's the
Yeah,
rate
Ms.
on
Fuller.
that paid for diesel mechanics?
It, currently, starting salary is $21 an hour, and it tops out at about $26 an hour.
So you-
Thirty-one
people-
for mechanic
In the
two.
office making more than diesel mechanics.
I'm sorry, sir?
But we have people in the office making more than diesel mechanics make.
According to
And
the
diesel
schedule that
mechanics,
finance
that's a-
gave me.
That's a high rated skill. I'm trying to see why the salary is just that price.
I'm sorry, it tops out at $31.55. It tops out at $31.55. I looked at the wrong line.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was gonna say the
Nigga,
same
diesel,
thing,
nigga,
Mr.
diesel.
Fuller.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Please vote. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn,
So move. Second.
adjourn. Yes, it ain't.
Road committee called order. Any call for additions and deletions to the road committee? Any guests and public comments? Road item number 1, authorize the president to sign the cooperative endeavor and agreement with the town of Stonewall of removal and replacement of a faulted driveway covered on Dalton Road.
I make the motion.
Got a motion by Mr. Lathan. Do I
I'll
have a
second.
Second by Mr. Holmes. Any discussions on this item?
I have a question. It says the removal and replacement of a failed driveway. Is this personal? Is this a personal?
It's a culvert at the end of their driveway that's accessing the public right-of-way.
Okay,
It's
so,
in our right-of-way. It's, in other words, it's, because it's in the town, we gotta do a CEA. But if this had been us replacing a culvert on a constituent on a parish road, it wouldn't even come to y'all.
Right.
The only reason it came to y'all is because it's in the town of Stonewall.
so we put it in and it failed. I'm just trying to understand. So the work was not done properly or?
No, it's just failed over time. It's a extremely old culvert.
It's been in there 40 years.
Yeah.
40?
Yeah.
Oh,
They haven't did the work
Probably
yet.
60 years, but,
We might need to see if we
and,
can
and,
find
and-
it, covers again.
Yeah, it last that long.
okay. I was just trying to see if it was a
and,
street.
and the property owner has the culvert.
Oh, they have it already. Okay. Okay.
All right, there's no more discussion. Please vote. Motion passes. Item 2, adopt the ordinance 3 of 2025 establishing a four-way stop intersection at Wallace Lake Road, Blossom Road, Stonewall Frierson Road, in DeSoto Parish. Have a
Move for
motion.
discussion.
Sir?
I said so move for discussion.
Okay. Mr. Fuller made the motion, Mr. Layton second. Up for discussion.
And that curve, so they're trying to, can you explain how they want to do it?
I believe y'all have a map or a
Yeah.
sketch in your packet. But this is at the curve of Stonewall Frierson Road, near the Frierson Apartments.
Right.
You have Wallace Lake Road and Bloxham Road. There are two more legs to that intersection. I'd say currently those roads have been low enough volume that we've basically ignored those two roads as far as a controlled intersection. You've had a stop sign on Wallace Lake, a stop sign on Bloxham Road, and you've had a through movement from Stonewall Frierson Road. This is an item that I brought to the attention, and the reason being, if you're coming from Stonewall, going eastbound, and you're gonna make a left turn on Wallace Lake Road, that's an unprotected left turn. The traffic coming from Frierson, going northbound, taking a left-hand turn,
Right.
and that left-hand turn going to Wallace Lake Road are in conflict. And, you know, at the MUTCD, one of the warrants for a four-way stop is need to control left turn conflicts. So that's where this falls. It's operated for a long period of time as it is. There's a new subdivision, I believe, with 50 homes that's just developed on Wallace Lake Road. So I think that's what spurred the investigation into it at this time.
And also the oil field traffic. People not familiar with the area that knows the area also. My suggestion to that too, I think some blinking stop signs would be better to kind of get people used to it,
Yeah, that's what I was.
you know, because it's gonna be,
We were gonna, our current plan was to put the advanced warning signs that says stop ahead.
Yeah.
The stop sign, and then temporarily place the message boards that we have at the road department out there for a period of time. But it's just a financial issue to get those. I think those run
Right.
approximately $2,500 a piece or
They
something
do.
like
yeah.
that.
But on again, we're talking about safety.
Go on, figure.
I have a question. It has to do with the stop sign, and I'm just thinking, because I'm thinking about, I have an area with the situation, and I did put up a blinking stop sign there. How far back, who makes the determination of how far those signs are, because, I'm just saying, because where mine is right now, I need to add the additional wording on the street.
Talking about railroad and.
You got it.
Yeah, we need to rework that intersection. I drew out a sketch for that one, and we didn't install it that way. I think
Because I
we need
don't
to
think my
rework it.
blinking is doing what I needed to do, so I'm just wondering how that's working, because
It ain't.
it's too far back, or,
Yeah.
but I know, but anyway, it
There's
was
some
just-
assumptions that one
we had
that
some
you have to make.
commonalities there, I just need to ask that, who make the
ma'am. We'll
decision,
take
but
a
I'll
look
get
at
with
that
you.
Okay, if there's no more discussion on item 2, please vote.
Do we need to make an alternate motion for blinking light?
Yeah, you just did.
There you go.
We have an alternate motion that to use blinking lights. We got a motion by Mr. Roberts, second by Mr. Fuller. Would you please vote then?
Especially at night, folks ain't used to.
Wait on you, Mr. Ross. There you go.
Motion passes. Item 3, approve the E911 naming of Hasty Heaven Private Drive off for Stonewall Frosman Road between Rodeo Drive and Eaglewood Drive, District 5. I have a motion.
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Fuller,
Second.
second by Mr. Holmes. Any discussion on this item? If there's no discussion, please vote.
Joe, did you get blinking light on that four-way stop, that,
I've got it.
your prior one?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
To change it, yeah, she got it, she said.
I just have to figure out how I word it for next time.
Motion.
Passed.
Motion passed. Number 4, authorize the president to sign a resolution supporting or pursuing a grant with Delta Regional Authority Community Infrastructure Fund, CIF, related to a proposed construction project for Parks Road, Phase 2. We'll have a motion.
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Fuller,
By,
Yeah.
by relay station.
I second. From the relay station.
I was about to stay in,
Discussion.
Yeah.
I would just stay there.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
The map you have in your packet shows that section in blue. The section in red is the current project that we hope to bid June. We'll be constructing with the current grant that we have, as well as quite a bit of jury money, that portion in red, to get through that low area that we have going into the industrial park at the corner of 175 and I-49. That's- What prompted the discussion of this section in blue is, but basically, that'll allow us to improve all the roads in that industrial park, all the roads that currently have a business located on them. There's some oil field roads that extend past that section in blue, but these would be, allow access to all the current business owners out there. And this discussion started with Lida Corp. It's an organization that's to help organizations such as ourselves seek these additional grants. And this is a grant with Delta Resource Authority. Delta Resource Authority put up 90% of the funding, and Lida Corp will actually provide the 10% match for that fund. So the jury, if we're successful in pursuing this as we have it planned at this current time, we'll be able to build these roads at no cost to the jury. The jury's only involvement would be the future maintenance and ownership of the road.
Right.
But this is the prime, we sat down with Lida Corp and Brian and myself and some other team members here in the office, went through this grant process. And job retention is the main factor why this was such a star for the grant writing application. This facility has, at one point in time, had 200+ jobs at the location. And that's what these road improvements would hope to retain those jobs. And as well as seeing the investment that the parish has put into this project to date with the Phase 1 should give us a leg up on the competition as well.
Right.
Chairman? I just wanted to clarify that I'd spoken about who is Lidacorp and all that, and they are a public LLC that is publicly funded, and it is appropriate if y'all choose to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with them. This is not some third party who's paying the jury's way, and then the jury owes this third party something. That was my concern, but they're not. They are a legitimate public entity. So if y'all choose, you can enter into that agreement.
Thank you.
That was an entity put together by the Police Jury Association and LMA to facilitate things such as this.
My problem with this and my question about this is the fact that the phase one is what we voted to do, was the phase one.
Right.
And as far as I know, that's all we ever plan to do to Parks Road. Mainly because of the low area where they come in and out, and the dust and the bridge. But that's all we committed to do to that development. Again, this is a private development. This is not something that the parish is developing. This property all belongs to an individual who is selling these lots to develop it. And he should be doing the same thing that any other developer in this parish does. He should be developing his property. And I'm just not in agreement with going on. How far into this park are we gonna finally go before we say enough's enough? You know, how many industrial parks are we gonna develop for individuals? For them to make money off of it? How much money is this developer putting up to do this work? Is he putting up a penny?
None.
None, that's correct. So no, I'm personally, I'm against it. Because we agreed to do this first part because they were having such a problem getting in and out, mainly because of the bridge. The state was, you know, we worked hard to get that property turned over to us from the state and that, but I'm not for developing somebody else's property, not at my expense.
No, and that's why we're bringing it today, because we have not discussed this phase two.
I
I
didn't
say we
think
have
we
not
had.
discussed it. There was many alternatives looked at on the, west loops and so forth like that, but to this date, that portion in red is what has been pursued, and we're bringing this to the jury, so you're aware of it and can guide us on which way to move forward. But this is geared towards job retention, just the businesses that currently exist. It's not any future expansion, because I completely agree with you. This should go through the planning commission and all those proper channels in the future. But unfortunately, this was allowed in the past, and we're fixing the mistakes of the past and so forth.
Right, only for the business.
Right.
Well, I can't understand why some of these businesses aren't willing to put some money up. Why isn't this developer willing to put some money up? Or once we do these roads, we're gonna be we're gonna have to keep them up, right?
Right.
We doing that on all
We're
the
building them
subdivisions.
and keeping them up now.
We doing that on all the subdivisions we taking in.
They're building theirs though, Mr.
Yeah,
Fuller.
we taking them in.
But we do,
Taking care of
but
them.
we don't develop it for them. We're not developing for the subdivisions. We're not developing for other industrial parks. This man that owns this property should be developing for himself.
Either bringing.
And actually, it's coming
businesses
from a
there.
grant. I mean, you decide what you want to do, but it's coming from a grant.
Yeah, bringing business to the parish.
There's no more discussion?
All of that is coming from the grant.
Yes, sir.
We gotta spend it first and then get the money back though, right?
No, we gotta wait to get the grant first.
Yeah,
Correct.
we gotta see if we even,
Yeah,
we're successful in receiving the grant, but most of the
Right.
grants are a reimbursable process.
Right.
Will the grant cover the whole project?
Yes. The grant is up to $2 million. This project is estimated at $1 million to 1.5. We won't even be maxing out the grant opportunity
Right.
for this project.
But we're gonna use our time and resources
So, when
for
do we
someone
get
to
the grant?
invest in an industrial park.
Yeah, it's bringing businesses
He's
into.
bringing in, revenue.
I don't think so.
There's no more discussion. Would you please vote?
If he's bringing in revenue, yeah.
What do we do now?
It failed.
No.
Yes and no. Motion fail. Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Fuller, second by Ms. Rodriguez. We'll adjourn the road committee.
Okay, insurance item.
Yeah, he did that.
Okay, man, go to get out of order.
We did special meeting.
They went out of order. Okay.
We went to order of our books.
Right.
Now you have a special meeting.
Yes, sir.
Where's that agenda?
That's right.
I can find my meeting. Okay, special meeting will come to order. Are there any additions and deletions? Are there any guests or public comments for the special meeting? Okay, new business. Authorize the president to sign a new contract with SS Re for stop-loss insurance related to the DeSoto Parish Police Jury Group self-funded health plan.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Baker, second by Mr. Latham. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
We vote?
Oh, we're voting, right? We voting, or?
One thing I do want to clarify. These were items that was, we had voted on in the past. And I think that there was some issues with the, abstaining, right.
Right, these items, and this will, I'll consider this to be a public comment, I should have said it then. But all of these 7 items were taken up on a previous meeting, and there were abstentions from voting. There were members of the police jury that voted to abstain from voting, and that was called to our attention by a member of the public. And that process needs to include, if a member is going to abstain from voting on a matter, they need to announce it publicly and announce the reason for doing so. That is part of the body of the law for the open meetings law. So going forward, we're endeavoring to keep the president and all the committee chairmen and women up to speed and mindful of the need, if someone is voting to abstain, they don't need to do so unless they state on the record what the reason for their for abstaining, and the jury then can determine collectively whether to approve and allow such. Just to say I don't want to vote on this matter is not sufficient. There has to be a legal ground and a conflict of interest of some sort that would justify abstaining from voting. So that's the reason all of these items are being put back to the jury. They have been voted on before, and I couldn't even tell you what the votes were on all of them. But this is an effort to correct that process. All right? So,
Okay. Mr. Norton did turn in some paperwork for us to research and look at concerning what we can abstain. But it failed to say, there's only certain reasons that you can abstain to. And even when someone abstains, I have to ask, why are you abstaining? And you have to give me a valid reason. The information didn't address that. Perhaps maybe you could tell us some of the reasons that's valid for abstaining.
well, valid for abstaining, if y'all recall, when Mr. Kennington was a juror and he was employed by Community Bank.
Right.
If there was an issue that came before the jury that involved business with the bank, he was required to abstain. You know,
Right.
and he would announce that each time. If, is it involving one of your relatives, a personal relation to you? If it is involving something that you will financially benefit from, you probably got bigger issues than abstaining. You probably have ethical questions that'll be coming up soon, but if you have a conflict of interest in this, in an issue, and the law will tell you not to look for conflicts, but only those that are true and not, will bring disrepute to this body, if you will.
Right.
So, if you have a potential conflict, you can certainly announce it and let the jury collectively,
Agree whether or not you would.
yes,
vote.
decide that whether or not they agree you have a conflict. That's the better way to do it. And I believe the last time there was 3 or 4 jurors who, some of them inadvertently may have abstained, is what I'm told. I was not here. But just from going forward, we want to comply with the open meetings law.
So, if I may, so we've been doing it wrong for the last 10 years.
More than 10.
Yeah. Okay, any questions?
Well, it's not really a question. It's kind of like, I guess my concern is, and I'm with Mr. Ross, that took 10, 15 years prior to, but that it had to come to the light through the community. I'm like, why we don't have, like, we should have possibly had maybe some kind of workshop or something like this? Because it just, in my eye, I, admit when I'm wrong, but this just don't look good. That's just my personal. It just don't look good for us. So
Exactly.
Well, the thing is,
I'm just saying. It's
Yeah,
just,
right. But the
And I
thing
know
is-
we're gonna do better. When you learn, you do better, but,
the thing is, you can't just abstain because you don't want to vote on the issue.
I agree.
And that's what's been happening.
Yes, I agree.
What's been happening.
So that means you're gonna force people to just say no.
Well, you gotta vote.
Well-
If you don't agree with it,
I
But
mean,
you
like I
have to
said-
say, but they have to
can't-
say why, right?
well, if they abstain, they have to say why.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If they abstain, they have to give a valid reason for why they abstain.
We're elected to make decisions.
Right.
True.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, like, if I say, I say no, and, if I say I want to abstain, then I say, I might be going to vote no, so, going to get the thing over with. I mean, because if it can be up to the whole jury to decide whether you can abstain or not,
It's not up to the jury, Mr. Phillips.
Huh?
It's by law.
I
It's
understand.
by law. It's not where the jury can say whether or not you can abstain or not.
Okay.
But but law says that you have to give a valid reason
I got
to
that.
abstain.
I got that.
Okay.
I'm saying it just still force people to vote no.
Religion, one of them, ain't it?
I'm sorry?
Religious belief, would that be one?
That's probably one if you have religion, yeah.
Will
Then
keep
they
me
can
from
say-
hating
You have to-
somebody.
you have to name
I-
the reason.
That way
We definitely don't want you to get in trouble. I'm up there.
Well, I say keep me from hating somebody, I think a lot of times.
Stand by
Okay.
your word. No, yes, yes.
All right.
Okay, if everybody voted,
I'm gonna have to give a scripture with my religious belief. I just wanna make sure.
it would help.
Well, this one's on saving money on the insurance, so.
We got that.
Okay, authorize the president to,
Wait, I'm
number
still
two.
waiting on number 1.
number one.
Waiting on some people to vote.
Oh,
Make sure your clicker turn the right way so you don't abstain.
Simpson. Ms.
I did, I
I
did.
got you.
Okay, motion passes. Item 2, authorize the president to sign a resolution authorizing the furnishing for use of open-top containers to the DeSoto Parish residents under certain circumstances. Motion by Mr. Raines,
Second.
second by Mrs. Board Simpson.
Now, I
Any
abstain.
discussion? Any discussion?
Now, I abstained on that last, because like I say, if we still, I was unsure exactly what are they trying to do with the residents saying they can't get the dumpster and they don't want paying for the dumpsters. Or is this, that's what I was unclear on. That's why I abstained on that one.
Okay.
And so, can you give me clarity again on this so I don't abstain again this time and tell you why?
Get clarity on why you,
Yes.
okay?
My understanding, it's because we want to have a valid reason for people to use the dumpsters, not just take away from private businesses because people want to do spring cleaning or summer cleaning. People have to have a disaster happen, a fire, a tree fall on their house, storm come through, not just, give these open tops for $100 for 2 weeks. That's my understanding.
7 days.
7 days, yes.
7 days?
Yeah.
7 days.
And it really, the resolution that attached this has collated essentially 20 years of the voting record that y'all have put together related to the open tops. Nothing's changed. Ms. Burwell and I talked about this last week. She called me about it, and I said that nothing's changed. This makes sure the residents can use it, and it's for non-commercial use.
Okay.
That's in the resolution now.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's,
Okay.
because we had that concern. Some
I know
people,
the question came about how many times a juror could use or make a call, so that's why I was uncertain on that.
yeah,
That's why was
I
staying on
think, in looking back at your records, Mr. Fuller, y'all had that concern because we didn't have a lot of open top containers back in the day, probably 10, 15 years ago. We have
Plenty of them.
We have plenty of them now. We really do. So, if you get in a disaster situation, everybody's going to want one. And then at that point, resolution kicks in, okay, we can only allot them this way. We have to enforce those rules. At this point, it's a non-issue. It's just putting this resolution, giving us the ability to make sure those commercial operators aren't utilizing that.
Clear.
But I stain on them too.
Well, I personally think it ought to be an emergency
Did I
only
stain on that?
situation. It shouldn't be for me to decide I want a dumpster and get it to my home, like Robbie was saying, for spring cleanup or anything like that. It should be emergency only. We shouldn't be competing with our businesses in the parish to furnish anybody a dumpster for nothing or way under what the price that they charge for.
Well, if it's for beautification, cause I believe we need to clean up DeSoto Parish. And it's some places around here, they need a dumpster. Cause I want my area cleaned up and I'll be the first one to tell them, look, y'all need to tear that down, it need to be cleaned up. Cause keep DeSoto Parish beautiful. Now, I'm like Mr. Fuller, now I understand if I'm unclear of what that means. Because it ain't just got to be mercy, it can be beautification.
That's it.
2, 3
Yeah,
different
it's not,
things.
the motions are all collated in this one resolution. It's not just for emergency purposes.
Right.
So
And let me say this,
if y'all want to do that,
let me say this, long before, when we got these dumpsters, there was no one commercially renting out dumpsters. There was none around. And we started doing this years ago to give our citizens somewhere where they could use those dumpsters to do some cleaning or whatever. So later on, here comes the people with commercial, and they're complaining about it. But those people pay taxes, I'm sorry. They pay taxes for this kind of service. And if we got to a point where, we couldn't afford to get the dumpsters, then maybe that'd be an issue we would take up. But right now, I think we serve the citizens. That's why we're here. And that's what we did back then. That's why we have them now. And now here comes the contractors or whatever, want to compete with that.
Yeah, you went in
But-
one line of business.
I don't think the contractors are wanting to compete because they can't compete. I
Well,
mean, there's no way a contractor that's in business, paying taxes for his business, can compete with a government operation that charges nothing and pays no taxes. So they're not competing. All they want is a level playing field. We're charging how much for these dumpsters?
$100.
$100 for 7 days. Their fee's around $350. All they want is a level playing field. They're not wanting to compete. There's no way in hell they can compete with us. I mean, we're giving them away for nothing.
Well, I don't think they compete because most people that rent dumpsters, they don't want to see that sucker sitting in their yard for 7 days.
But
So
they're,
they call the commercial guy.
They're
They
paying
know he's gonna be a
taxes.
lot faster.
They're also paying inventory taxes on those dumpsters that they have sitting in the yard, whether they rent them out or not. They pay a tax on them at the end of the year. So, yeah, they have a legitimate,
Call for a question.
But,
arguing.
I got
But
something to say.
DeSoto Parish so big, it's enough for everybody to make money.
is.
They are still making money.
Okay,
So, just to go on that point,
Mi-
it's okay, just to go on that
Go ahead.
point. Yeah, just to go on that point, so we can, so what you're saying, just so I can understand. So what you're saying is we can rent the dumpsters out to our citizens for $100 and then they can hire commercial people to do the
No,
dumping?
no, no,
Is that
no.
what you're saying?
No.
What are you
The
saying?
commercial guy that got dumpsters also. This guy over here don't want to see that dumpster set in his yard for 7 days. Commercial guy's not gonna let his set for 7 days. 2 to 3 days.
Oh, I got you.
I want to say this, and if we gonna do this, y'all, this is what I'm be talking about. You do it for one, do it for the other. Now, y'all we voted for the sheriff to buy land for gun range. Where you gonna run this man up here on 175 out of business?
He's
So
going out
if
of
you,
business. He's closing it. He's already going out of business.
it might be. He probably, if I was him, I'd get out now too, cause he got some competition. I mean, come
He's
on.
getting out. He's getting out
I'll be
because
getting
nobody
out where
does
I
that.
can too, cause that'll run him right out of business. So
okay, let's go ahead and,
We're actually on
question.
these
Let's go to the
dumpsters, though.
question. Do it for
On these
everybody.
dumpsters, we're cutting our throats 2 times. We're giving away a dumpster a lot cheaper than a commercial dumpster is charged. Plus, we're losing out on the tipping fee. If a commercial dumpster had that dumpster there instead of us, when he brings that trash to the dump site to dump, he gets paid a tipping fee. So we collect a tipping fee off of him. So we're losing 2 times on giving these dumpsters away.
okay,
Because
all right.
you're paying for these taxes.
Okay, gonna go ahead and vote on the motion?
Well, he said he didn't change, so.
Okay, motion passes. Item 3, adopt ordinance 2 of 2025, establishing a maximum speed limit of 20 miles per hour on East and West K. John.
So move.
Motion by Mrs. Burrell,
Second.
second by Mr. Fuller. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Mr. Baker, Mr. Ross.
Okay, motion passes. Item 4, authorize the president to sign an agreement and sub-agreement for the state project number RU 18-16-26, Public Transportation Operating Assistance Program for the non-urbanized area of DeSoto Parish, Louisiana.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Fuller, second by Mrs. Burrell. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Simpson?
Trina.
I voted. I'm sitting here reading.
How about them signs, huh?
No, I'm all,
Motion carries.
Tree, tree.
Taking a nap on.
Okay, item 5, authorize the president to sign a corporate endeavor agreement with Watchman Strong Tower LLC for construction of a DOTD required left turn lane on US Highway 171.
So make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Holmes,
Second.
second by Mr. Rodriguez
Mr. Clark.
and Mr. Clark. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. That motion passes. Item 6, accept Henderson Lane into the DeSoto Parish road system. Limits defined from the intersection of Highway 171 and following west along the existing alignment, 265 feet, to be contingent on the dedication of a 60-foot right-of-way for public use and adequate right-of-way for a turnaround.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Fuller,
Second.
second by Mrs. Burrell. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote. Okay, we have a tie vote.
Isn't this the street that the road that we have been servicing?
I'm sorry?
Isn't it the road that we've been servicing already?
Yep, that's it.
Well, 5-5, motion failed.
See, that was the whole aim of this, in my opinion. That was the aim of this in the first place.
Item 7, authorize the president to sign a resolution making Michael Norton as a local point of contact for the local ITEP committee.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Clark,
Second.
second by Mr. Raines. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Okay, the motion passes. I think that's the last item for today. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you all for coming out.
Yeah, I just want to
Motion
say.
to adjourn.
They just said.
Motion by Mr. Holmes, second by Mr.
Stonewall.
Mr. Latham. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
They
Adjourn.
voted to kick them people out and keep them. Same thing, asking for a curving, but you want me to vote for that in this Stonewall. See, that's what I be talking about. Huh?